We got stem and leaf plots, and I don't think we talking about plants. What's up, guys? It's your 4th grade math teacher, Mr. Johnson, aka Mr. J, and we're back at it again with another YouTube video. So, first things first, I want to say congratulations to everybody that was able to participate in the online Zoom lessons, as well as all of us having a successful first week of remote learning. Not only that, but a special shout out to the parents for guiding you, because I know parents that it was probably frustrating having to make sense of all of this. I mean, you probably got people telling you to go to this side and that side and use this
app and use that app and submit it here, but don't submit it there, and log in it there and log in it this time, but not at that time, and so on 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 and so on.
So I know it can be a bit overwhelming. Plus, I know the kids are probably driving you crazy. All in all, we had a smooth first week. So let's keep that momentum going with our next lesson, which are stem and leaf plots.
Mr. Johnson, stem and leaves. Are we gonna be planting flowers today?
No, it's a type of table.
Mr. Johnson, I thought this was supposed to be math class. You over here talking about stem and leaves. This ain't science.
No, it's the name of the graph.
I don't know, I think you confused.
What? Confused? Huh? What? Boy. Anyways, let's get on with the lesson. Without further ado, let's make it do what it do. Woo! Okay, so before we get into actually solving word problems using a stem and leaf plot, we actually need to review what a stem and leaf plot actually is. A stem and leaf plot is a type of table where we take numbers and we split them based off their value or digits. And so we usually call the first digit or digits the stem and the last digit the leaf. To better explain this, let's use a real life situation. Let's say you and your friends were playing Fortnite. You and your friends were playing Fortnite and you wanted to track how many wins each of you had while playing. So we have you and we have all your friends listed and we have the number of wins they got. You got 18 wins, 26 wins for this friend, 31 for that friend, 42, 44, and 59. Now, the way that we will write these numbers in our stem and leaf plot is that we're going to look at the key. And every stem and leaf plot will have a key to give us a clue as far as how we should be representing our numbers. So the key has a 1 on the stem side and an 8 on the leaf side, and it says 1 and 8 represents 18. So the first digit is my digit in the tens place, and my last digit is my digit in the ones place. When we're going to put our numbers, we want to make sure that our numbers are actually going in an order. I usually like to go least to greatest. So if I wanted to put my score of 18, I would put a 1 on the stem side and an 8 on the leaf side, just like that. And then for 26, a 2 on the stem and a 6 on the leaf. For 31, 3 is on the stem, 1 is on the leaf. 42, 4 is on the stem, and 2 is on the leaf. So for the next one we have 44, and because both of these have a 4 in the tens place, or for our stem place, I don't need to write the 4 again. However, because this is 44, I will put a 4 on the leaf side. And so it's important that I understand that 4 and 2 is 42 for this friend, and 4 and 4 is 44 for that friend. And finally we have 5 and 9 for our last friend. So another thing I want to show you is when you're dealing with single digit numbers and stem and leaf plots. So if we look at this table or this example, I've changed the numbers of wins for you and your friends. And if you look at our key, the key is saying when I have a 0 on the stem and a 5 on the leaf, it represents the number 5. So if I wanted to put you and your friends numbers into the stem and leaf plot, you have 5 wins. So there is no tens place. So a 0 will go on the stem side, and you only have one digit or a number in the ones place, and that number is 5. For your friend that has 7, it's the same thing. It's a single digit number, so I just put 7. Your friend with 9 as well as a single digit number, so 9. And so we have to understand that these represent 3 different numbers for 3 different people. 5 for you, 7 for this friend, and then 9 for that friend. For the other friend, we have 31. So a 3 in the tens place, a 1 in the ones place. Next is 74, a 7 in the tens place, a 4 in the ones place. And your friend also has, the last friend also has a 7 in the tens place. So I don't need to write another 7 here, but he has a 7 in the ones place. So let me write it right here. And so I can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers that should go to 6 friends. The number 5, 7, 9, 31, 74, and 77. And there you go, a recap of stem and leaf plots. So let's actually get into the lesson. Alright then, so before we begin our word problem, we want to always make sure that we read our word problem very carefully. Word problems can be very tricky based off the wording of them. Not only that, but after we read the problem, we always want to make a personal connection to the problem, and then after that, we want to then apply our strategies. So let's look at question 1. It says, Blake used a stem and leaf plot to record the number of football cards that he and his friends have collected. How many friends have collected 50 or more cards? So, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I used to love collecting cards. Not necessarily football cards, but at the time it was Pokemon cards. And I mean, I love Pokemon anything. I used to collect the cards. I used to play the video games. Every Saturday morning, I was jumping out of bed, grabbing my cereal just to watch a show. I mean, every time that theme song would play.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
Go Pokeball! Oops.
So, Pokemon didn't really exist in real life, so I couldn't collect them all, but instead I had the cards and I could collect all the cards. And one thing that me and my friends will do is that we would collect our cards and try to compare to see who has the most Pokemon cards. And that's kind of like what Blake is doing in this word problem right now. It's just that he's using football cards instead. So now that we made our connection, let's actually mark our strategies. So Blake used a stem and leaf plot. We have it right to our right here. The stem and leaf plot, the stem and leaf plot is telling me the number of cards collected. But the title of the stem and leaf plot is the number of football cards collected. And we have our digits for the stem and the digits for the leaves, and we also have the key, which says when there is a 2 on the stem side and a 3 on the leaf side, that represents the number 23 or 23 cards. So he used a stem and leaf plot to record the number of football cards that he and his friends collected. How many friends have collected 50 or more cards? 50 or more. So I want to look at numbers that are 50 or higher, or 50 or greater. And let's write all those numbers down. 5 and 1 makes 51. 5 and 3 is 53. 5 and 5 is 55. 5 and 6 is 56. 5 and 9, 59. And then we go to the next stem, which is a 6 in the tens place. So the 60. So we have 6 and 1, 61, 64, and 67. And so each of these numbers, 51, 53, 55, 56, 59, and so on, represents the cards. So 51 cards for one friend, 53 cards for another friend, 55 cards for another friend. We want to make sure that we understand that these numbers represents the cards each friend got. So let's count them up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there were 8 friends that had 50 or more cards. 8.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Okay, hold on. We're not going through this. We're not going through this again. Hold on, I got it. Ta-da! There we go. Moving on to the next question. It says, how many friends have collected 25 or fewer cards? So I need to look at numbers that are 25 or lower. So let's see. Let's go to the 2. So I actually have 2 and 5. So I actually have 25. So let's look at all numbers that are 25 or fewer than 25. So that would be 2 and 3, which is 23. And then we have 1 and 9, which is 19. So these are my numbers that are 25 or less, or 25 or fewer, which means there's only 1, 2, 3 friends. So question 3 says, how many friends have collected between 30 and 50 cards? So how many friends have collected between? And since we're using that word between, I'm going to be looking at a range of numbers. That is numbers that's in between 30 and 50. So let's look at numbers that are in between 30 and 50. And our first number would be 36. So we have 38. 39, 42, 42 again. Don't let that trick you up right there. It's 4 and 2, that's 42, that's one friend, and then 4 and 2 again, that's another friend. So there's 2 friends that actually have the same number of cards. 44, and finally 48. And I have to stop there because the next number would be 5 and 1, and that will give me 51, and my numbers have to be in between 30 and 50. So let's count those friends up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 friends. So our answer would be 7 friends have between 30 and 50 cards. Boom, there we go. I told you, my handwriting is getting better. I'm nice with it. What? I'm nice with it. Look at that. Look at that. It's getting better. I mean, it's still kind of garbage, but it's getting better though. So for our final question, question 4, it says, how many more friends have collected more than 40 cards than less than 40 cards?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Look at all that. Look at all the words they're using. Jeez, look at the words they're using. You want to be very careful now because there's a lot of words being mixed and mashed around in this problem. So let's break these words down, or let's break this problem down. So it starts off by saying, how many more friends? And I know if I'm dealing with the phrase how many more, I'm about to make a comparison to find how 2 numbers or things are different. And I'm going to find how they are different to get their difference, which means I am going to be subtracting. Next, I'm looking at how many more friends have collected more than 40 cards. So greater than 40. And then we're using the word than to compare. Than, that's my comparison. And I'm comparing the more than 40 people with the less. Oops, hold on. Wrong thing. I'm comparing the 40 or more than people with the less than 40 people. So people that have greater than 40 cards are being compared to people that have less than 40 cards. So to make our comparisons, let's start with the friends that have more than 40 cards or greater than 40. So let's say more than 40. And let's find all numbers that are greater than 40. So those numbers will be 42, another 42, 44, 48, 51, 53, 55, 56, 59, 61, 64, 67. Let's count that up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people are more than 40. And then for the less than friends, they have to be less than 40. So we're actually going to go over here. We're going to write less than 40. And these people are any number that's less than 40. So my first number that's less than 40 is 39, 38, 36, 25, 23, and finally 1 and 9 is 19. We count those friends up, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 12 friends that have more than 40 cards, and we have 6 friends that have less than 40 cards. And we're going to compare them and find the difference between them. And to do that, we will take 12 minus 6. Let's use the color green. 12 minus 6 equals 6. So there are 6 more friends. There we go. There are 6 more friends that have more than 40 cards compared to the friends that have less than 40 cards. So there you go. These are actually the first 4 questions on your assignment this week. So you got the first 4 questions already answered for you. You're welcome. And that's pretty much it for this lesson. Let me zoom out. So that's the plot on stem and leaf plots. That about sums up this video. It's not really that hard, but remember, when it comes to math, when things are easy, they are also easy to mess up. If you do have questions, comment below, let me know, or find me on Class Dojo. Remember to take your time, guys, and don't let any of the questions stress you out. You guys have been doing an amazing job, and once again, I miss all of you so much, and I hope to see all of you guys again in the Zoom lessons this week. So, stay safe, guys, wash your hands, and keep those math skills sharp. Until next time, guys.
Mr. Johnson! Mr. Johnson!